Welcome back to Just Doing Great Things. Today, another really cool cookie recipe. This is oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. I believe I've got this recipe from a mixture of different people, but I think Lauren in the Kitchen is where I've got the oatmeal cookie recipe, and then I've kind of made it my own, tweaked it. I've got two different kinds of chocolate chips in it. To me, that just makes it, taste so much better. These are fun, these are easy, a great recipe to do with your kids. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I know every time I make these, I enjoy it and everybody else does also. So like I said, welcome back to Just Doing Great Things. Thank you for subscribing, and hit the like button if you like it. Tell your friends, and maybe I can grow this channel. All right, the ingredients for today's recipe is 1 3/4 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 tablespoon of vegetable shortening at room temperature, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup of regular sugar, 3 cups of quick cooking or old-fashioned oats, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, and 1 cup of chocolate chips. I make it a 1/2 cup of semi-sweet and a 1/2 cup of dark, just to get the different flavors. All right, it's time to mix the dry ingredients. We'll take the 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then we'll take the mixture of 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we'll dump that in there, and then we will whisk. I like to mix this up and get it mixed up before we ever add anything to it or add it to anything, just so it's well mixed. All right, in a large bowl, I've added the brown sugar and the white sugar, and now I'll add the shortening and the 1 3/4 of butter. I've got the mixer on low. Every once in a while, I'm going to stop it and get the stuff down from the sides. The mixture likes to climb up the walls of the bowl, so I have to stop and push it back down again. Now it's time to add the 2 eggs. I always crack the eggs and into a separate bowl. I want to make sure they're good before I dump them into the mixture. And turn on the mixture and get it working that in. Start adding in the dry ingredients, the flour mixed with the other ingredients, the baking soda, cinnamon, salt. Add it in a little at a time with the mixer on low. Let it work in a little bit, and then when it works in a little bit, I can turn the speed back up on the mixer. Once again, got to work it down from the sides, work it off the paddle. Add in the vanilla. Get that blended in very well. Work it down from the sides again. And then we can add in the oatmeal. 1 cup at a time. I've already pre-measured these. This is 1 cup each. Now you don't want to over blend this. I think you can actually mix the oatmeal too much where it breaks it down too much and it loses its oatmeal consistency. And then it's time to add in the mix of semi-sweet chocolate chips and the dark chocolate chips. Don't have to mix it too much. I don't want to tear up those chocolate chips. I want them to remain whole. I can take that paddle off. Try to get the stuff off there if I can. And now it's time to scoop them out. I'm using a pretty good size scoop today. I'm making a bigger cookie. I'm lucky enough to have different size scoops. Most generally, if I'm making these, I make them in smaller sizes. But today, I figured I want to go ahead and make these a good size cookie. I want to get these spaced out about as evenly as possible. You know, and I don't want them baking and blending together. So I'd like to space them out a good distance from each other. I don't know, maybe 2 inches, maybe 3. And yeah, I know I get my hands into the business, but you know, we've got some of the best tools in the world that we were born with, and it's our hands. And so I use them. But I wash my hands a lot. So there we go. There's the first two pans panned up. Now I like to smash them down a little bit. I don't want a big old fat cookie. I want them to be a little bit thinner. But I figured out my spatula is really sticky, so I just started using my hand. So I just push them down with my hand, flatten them out a little bit. I can always wash my hands again. And it's time for the oven. It takes somewhere around 10 minutes, so I divide the time 5 minutes and then I switch shelves just to make sure they cook evenly. Timer has gone off and it is time to get these out of the oven. And I'm going to let them cool. I don't show that, but I'm going to let them cool. And then we're going to take them and put them on the cooling rack. I don't want to immediately start taking those cookies off that pan because they're just they're not solid enough. Let them cool a little bit and then put them on the cooling rack and they'll cool completely. If you hear noise in the background, that is our cat that's trying to destroy the world. Please excuse. They're looking good. I'm real pleased with this batch of cookies. And there they are. Thanks for watching. Doing great things.